So we got a bunch of different stuff here to cover today on the Transformers Slag podcast. One is toy related, one is video game related, and one is comic book related. We got three different parts of media here in the Transformer world. And we're going to jump into the first one here of Mark Mayer from the Transformers design team. He teased at the last live stream that we covered just 2 days ago that the Trashmaster was going to have a combiner element to it that was the centerpiece, this big combiner element, much like how before with Wingfinger with the fossilizers in Kingdom was like this centerpiece combiner element with a secret head for a final combiner team that was an Easter egg in it. The same thing exists here with our Voyager class Junkion Legacy Evolution Trashmaster. And today on his social media accounts, he posted the Junkasaurus. So he explained how this works. Essentially, you take your Trashmaster Voyager class, use that as the torso. You have the Scraphook and Axlegrease, those will be the legs. You have Crashbar, that's going to make the arm. And then the other arm, which is so far has been unrevealed Junkion, so stay tuned for that in the future, will be the other arm, and you create the Junkasaurus. And I mean, it looks pretty awesome. So obviously you can see the Junkasaurus. The head comes from Trashmaster's, crushing arm for the truck. So pretty cool. I dig that. The Junkasaurus. We have a more beast kind of element there too. That looks really nice. And so stay tuned more for that. We're going to learn more about that unrevealed Junkion there. Ooh, what's going on with that? The final one of our Legacy Evolution collection here of Junkions that make our modulators before we enter the rock era of Legacy Union, whatever that's going to be with the Junkions with the modulators there. So pretty cool stuff. Again, thanks Mark Mayer for creating these wacky things. I love it. Next thing we're going to cover is the big announcement of another Transformer video game. Now we have Transformers Reactivate. We're still waiting on what's going on with that in the future. It's still been pretty vague. But we have more information and something that's a little more immediate now with Outright Games. Now, Outright Games, they were the guys who did the Transformers Battlegrounds game on all the different consoles. That was the one for the Transformers Cyberverse line. It was a turn-based tactical thing. And it was pretty fun. It did what it needed to do for what it was. And Outright Games, judging by their library over the past couple of years now, they've dealt in low-cost licensed games based off of other properties. And they get the job done. They're usually not expensive games, which is another great thing too. They're not $60, $70, $80 games. They're usually in that $40 range. And they're much more simple. They're good for kids, but just enough to keep, collectors and fans of those properties interested too. And we have one here today, a brand new Transformer game, which kind of has me a little interested just because of how they're going to kind of handle this. It's Transformers Earthspark Expedition. So it's essentially from what they describe here, and we have a little trailer, we got a whole bunch of screenshots, and we got a press release that we got from Hasbro Direct today of it's going to be available on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, the PS4, the PS5, the Nintendo Switch, and PC on Steam. So you have all of those options there. So again, it's much like their other games where they cover all the platforms. And by doing that, it means also that, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So whatever's the weakest platform there, that's probably how the game's going to be across it. So it's not going to be super graphical, super amazing. It's just going to be a fun, from what it seems like, open world, mission-based kind of game. It looks like you play only as Bumblebee. From what they describe here, you could drive around. It's mission-based, so you talk to the different Terrans, and they give you missions that you have to complete. You're going up against Dr. Mandroid and his crew of cronies and everything. So it looks like it's a simple, lighthearted Transformer game. It talks about how he has to uncover some mysterious ancient artifact. And so there's some kind of story with that that's, trying to dive deep into like Bumblebee's past and everything. So hopefully there's going to be something at least a little bit tangible with it to enjoy. But, 3 different massive biomes to explore. So there's this whole free to explore open world kind of thing, which is fun. It kind of reminds me a little bit, the way they describe this, it kind of reminds me a little bit of how the first Transformer movie games were, specifically the 2007 movie, where you kind of had like 2 to 3 different environments that you could openly explore. And then there was a mission-based element to it that you could go from point A to point B. And then that was really it. But the thing is here is you only play as Bumblebee this time around. It looks like other characters that'll guest star will be the Terrans themselves. I saw in one of the shots we could see Nightshade. Optimus Prime is on the cover. So, and it says here Optimus Prime, Grimlock, Skullcruncher, Nova Storm, Skywarp. I'm pretty sure there's plenty more. They're probably the Decepticons will play a role as bosses in this. Simple walk around, beat 'em up, open world kind of game. That's what it seems like. Nothing too complicated. They even mention here there's different difficulties to make it easier for younger players that might have difficulty with complex games and stuff. So it's not going to be anything too crazy cerebral, but a brand new Transformer game that will be available on consoles. And hey, if it's a nice little open world fare, maybe we'll all have a little bit of fun with it. No online, single player, very simple. And Simon Furman has just announced that he actually wrote all the dialogue for this game. So at least the dialogue and the story might be a little fun. Simon actually, last Transformer game he worked on was the Earth Wars mobile game. And we saw through that how he put tons of Easter eggs and read between the lines kind of stuff for us hardcore fans. So hopefully maybe we'll see a lot of that too in this game, written for us also. So at least there's a shining beacon of light at the end of that too. So I'm excited about it. Again, you only play as Bumblebee, which is kind of a bummer. It would be cool if there were some of the other Earthspark characters, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a fun little game. And again, $39.99 is the planned release date price. So at least it's not going to be a super expensive game. Pre-orders start today, and it will ship out and be available October 20th, 2023. So not long from now, in all honesty, too. The wait won't be too long. And again, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X, and of course their S Series. PS4 with PS5 upgrade available, probably a download. And PC on Steam. So looks really cool. Again, I'm not too picky with Transformer games. And if I would have gotten something like this back in like 2001, I would have been super happy. So we'll see what happens. This isn't War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron, but it's still probably a fun little game for what it is. And we'll get back to our big AAA games. I'm pretty sure Reactivate will probably satiate that in a lot of ways. And the last thing we're going to cover here just quickly is Skybound Entertainment along with Image have been posting some teaser images of the future of the Transformer comic book, the Energon universe. And the opening cast for that first run of books, the Optimus Prime fronted book of Transformers #1, which will be coming out also in October. And they've been doing this teaser. Every day there's a brand new character revealed. So obviously on June 20th, they revealed RC with Optimus Prime. Today, and when you look at the silhouettes, and let's be honest, if you would have looked at it, you would have been like, okay, that's totally Bumblebee in the front. It's clearly Bumblebee. And they gave us a swerve here, and today it's Cliffjumper. Oh, wow. Sure. So Cliffjumper is the next one that's going to be part of this. Clearly the other two are supposed to be Wheeljack and Ratchet, but maybe they'll give us another swerve, and it's going to be Exhaust and, I don't know, Rescue Ratchet colors. Who knows? But or maybe just the way that it's shaped, it makes us think it's Ratchet, but maybe it's Blue Streak or Prowl. Who knows? But pretty cool. So tomorrow there'll be 2 more reveals, and we'll see what that first cast of characters for this brand new Transformer comic in this new universe we're going to be going into. And that's more or less it for the news. I'm pretty excited about that Transformer game, though. That looks pretty cool. And again, we need more proper Transformer gaming content that really isn't just the mobile world. And the mobile games are fun and all, but when those games end, they end, and then there's no, continuing playing them. Those services drop and stuff. At least with these physical games, we could play them forever. We could live stream them 10 years from now and enjoy them and stuff like that. So I hope this game's fun. It looks fun. Again, I'm always intrigued by open world environment stuff when it's related to the Cybertronians. So maybe there'll be some really fun stuff with that. Maybe one of those open worlds will be Cybertron itself. That'd be pretty hype. That'd be pretty cool with a whole bunch of Easter eggs. But I'm hoping for too much, really. We'll see what it is. Outright Games, go check that out. And we'll talk again real soon here on the Transformer Slag podcast.